5 kettlebell swing mistakes that could be wrecking your back that you definitely want to avoid. You may be making one of those or many of these. So stick around. I'm going to go over the 5 mistakes, why they're bad for you, how they can hurt your back, injury, lead to long-term effects, and how, most importantly, how to avoid them, how to fix small changes in your technique to avoid all these injuries and have strong, powerful, effective kettlebell swing. You especially want to stick around for the 5th one. That might be the most important one, maybe one that you're doing. And I have a bonus one I'm going to throw in at the end that you definitely don't want to miss. So let's jump right into it. First one is going to be squat swinging the kettlebell. So squat swinging the kettlebell. So you're squatting and you're trying to swing the kettlebell. So you squat the bell and you're trying to do this. You may see this in the gym. I see it a lot. You're squatting the kettlebell, most likely because you haven't learned how to hinge correctly. So remember that the squat is a squat. The swing is not a squat movement, it's a hinge. So instead of squatting, you hinge. You hinge this way. You're loading the hips, okay? By doing the squat and swing, or trying to do that, you're loading your quads and your back, and those aren't the muscles that you should be using when you're doing the swing. It's hip, glute, power to swing that bell up, forward, just like that. So hinge, just like you're tap the wall here, or like you're closing a door with your butt, hinge, boom, lock in. That's how you fix mistake number 1. Number 2 is going to be rounding the back. Okay, rounding the back at the bottom of the swing. So as you swing the bell, I see this a lot. So as you come down with the kettlebell, you're chasing, and eventually you're going to round your back with the loaded weight, which is not good for your back. Definitely not good for your back. So you ought to remember that when you're elongating the spine and you round it and you twist it, you're putting your back for injury from a disc perspective, or you could be throwing things off. You're definitely going to have lower back pain because that weight is shifting to your lower back. So do not round your lower back. The answer: crouch, strong chest, look upward, keep that back nice and straight so that when you come down, you have a nice straight back instead of rounding your back on the back of the swing, okay? Which leads to second one is going to be, well, the third one's going to be, it's going to make a lot more sense when we put it together on the 5th one. But third one, I want to touch this because I see a lot of people doing this at the top of the swing. So at the bottom of the swing, you're rounding your back. At the top of the swing, you have that curved back, or banana back, as you call it. So banana back is at the top of the swing. You're up like this. Okay, your back's upward. Your lower back here is pinched. You're trying to just lift the bell up to get the bell higher because you didn't do the proper swing technique in the beginning and power with your hips. So if you try to just lift it up, you're trying to just lean backwards so the bell comes up. Okay, you're rounding or mistakenly trying to arch your back and to lift that bell up overhead. It's not necessary. If you load the back correctly, if you load with the swing correctly, you hinge it down, you launch, you pike it back, and you use your glutes, your hips, your abs, your core to shoot that bell forward the way you're supposed to. You don't have to round your back, okay? Think. The solution here is braced core, glutes, strong quads. Okay, that bell should shoot forward. Okay, instead of thinking rounding back to the top like a banana, think plank, high plank. You're in a high, strong plank position. So you're here, you're locked in, you're tight. Okay, that high plank position. That is the movement you want at the top of the swing, the high plank, okay? So when you're doing your swing, think top is strong, high plank. And if you generate enough power from the swing, the bell should come about chest level, eye level, around here, never up here. If you're trying to get it up here, that's going to lead to that arched back or banana back, which you don't want to do. But if you keep your abs braced and tight from the beginning, crunch down, brace, strong quads, strong glutes, it's going to prevent you from arching back because your abs are locking everything in place. And then if you stack that with a strong setup, you're gonna have a nice, strong, powerful swing with a nice, stable lower back and safe back, okay? So that's number 3. Fourth one, this one is, again, leading to improper technique. If your technique is not set up right and you're not powering with your hips, you're gonna have to lift the bell with your arms. That's mistake number 4. Because the bell only comes to here because you're trying to lift it. You're trying to muscle that kettlebell up. The kettlebell swing is not a muscle up movement, okay? You're not trying to lift it higher. It's not a, I laugh because I see this a lot, okay? The kettlebell swing is not a front raise. It's not a shoulder front raise, okay? The kettlebell is a hip-generated, power glute-generated, explosive movement that should generate, you should generate enough power to shoot that bell forward and up to about eye level, shoulder, chest level, okay? But if you're having to lift it up, you already know that's a cue, red flag, you didn't have the right power and you didn't set it up right. Could have been the weight's too heavy, which we'll cover on at the end here, or you're just not setting it up right. So solution for that, okay? So you're going to, remember, the arms are they're like ropes attached to the bell. Your arms, you're not using any arms. You're just connected to the bell with your arms and your hands. The power comes from the glutes, the hips, to shoot that bell up, okay? And if you feel like you want to lift the bell, reassess your technique, your setup, which should be foot space away from that bell, hinge it down, pack those shoulders down, hike it back, stand up tall. Again, arms are just attached to the kettlebell. It should feel like you're shooting a weight forward, your arms are just attached to it. There's no lifting going on at all. So that's mistake number 4, which you can fix with proper setup from the very beginning, okay? Which leads to mistake number 5. So this one is something I don't see a lot talked about, but I see it all the time in the gym. This makes me cringe when I see people doing this because I know if they do this more and more and more, and they don't fix it, their back's they're gonna tweak something, they're gonna hurt something, which could be long-term, injury that you want to avoid. And that is at the bottom of the swing, okay, hinging too early. Okay, hinging too early. Why is that bad? So when you have a moving weight like the kettlebell, when you're swinging that bell up, okay, and it's coming down, if you hinge too early, there's a force that's coming downward. If it's coming down, you hinge too early, that load has to transfer somewhere, and instead of transferring to your hips, glutes, core to reload the bell swing on the next rep, you're forcing that load to your back because of the hinging you did a little too early. Okay, I see this all the time. You hinge, it's coming down, and you feel it in your back. Have you ever been there? If you have it, I hope you never have to, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, if you hinge too early, your lower back's taking the load. That's why I hear people saying, kettlebell swings could be bad for your back. Yes, anything could be bad for your back if you do it incorrectly, especially the swing, because it's a moving exercise. It's a power exercise. It's an excellent exercise if you do it right. That's why you're here watching this. So instead of putting your back at risk, let's fix that with a few simple shifts, okay? So first tip I have for you, wait. Be patient. Knowing waiting longer is better. So what do I mean by that? So as the bell comes down, you want to hinge it right here because you have moving weight, right? You don't want to hit anything with the bell, right? But if you wait just a second longer, just a split second, till right here, those forearms right by your sides, right? Try to make contact with your ribs here or your hips here. And then you hinge, you're gonna load that weight and transfer it to your hips, your glutes, your core to brace that weight that's coming down, okay? So a quick cue to yourself while you're doing this, to know if you're doing this right, is as you come down, is the weight, your wrist, your hands, all this area, is it going in the triangle? This is the strength triangle, I call it. So this is your power. If you come down and it goes into that triangle between your knees and hips, if it goes in the triangle, you're loading it correctly. Strong, powerful, glutes, hips, core. If it goes below the triangle, not in the triangle, you're risking that lower back injury. And the fix, like I just mentioned, is waiting. Wait up, split second longer, and then you get out of the way in the triangle, load it up, and swing that kettlebell up. Okay, it looks just like this. Pay attention to the bell going in the triangle as I swing it here. Watch this. As you can see, goes in the triangle. Loads the hips, loads the glutes. My power is reloaded for another rep of the swings. Okay, I don't feel it in my back. I feel strong glutes, strong core, brace, load, swing that kettlebell with power, with excellent technique, safely, while protecting your lower back. Okay, so that's fifth. Those are the top 5. That is how do we fix them. Rewatch this video. But before you do that, I want to get into a bonus one I had to throw in. Okay. This happens with a lot of guys, okay? You're at the gym. Oh, I see this all the time. You're at the gym. This guy's swinging a kettlebell. Thinks he's doing it right. Feels good. Feels light. He's a strong guy usually. So he's like, I'm going to go up. Well, wait. So he's starting with a 16 kilo, 35-pound kettlebell. Feels light, like this ball right here. I'm going to go up to the next weight, 20 kilo, 45 pounds, 44 pounds. That's light. I'm going to go to the next one, 24, 53-pound kettlebell. While not fixing these technique tips that I'm teaching you. He hasn't watched this video. And what happens? He makes one of his mistakes or several of them. Mostly whatever he's going to make, whatever mistakes he makes, it's going to hurt his lower back. But what happens is he blames it on the kettlebell swing instead of his technique or lack of willingness to learn how to do the kettlebell swing correctly. That's why you're here, so you can learn it correctly. Okay? And most likely what would happen, well, what's that bonus tip? Is going too heavy too soon. Be patient with the swing. Be willing to start with a light kettlebell, even lighter than you think you should use. This is a 16 kilo, 35-pound bell. Start there. Or you could even start lighter, 12 kilo, 26 pounds for a man. Women, 8 kilo, small. You know, I think is 18 pounds or so, 20 pounds. Start light. Start lighter than you think you should. Get this technique down. Follow these steps. Make sure you're not making any of these 5 mistakes. Correct them if you are with the light bell, because the light bell is going to give you enough feedback, but it's not going to put you at risk for injury if you are making these mistakes. It'll help you to fix them. And then you practice this technique. You practice the swing technique. You practice putting all this into play. You do reps of sets of 5. 5 sets of 5, 10 sets of 5, build up to 10. You progress from there. You own the weight first. You own the swing. You get that technique so down and solid with the weight you're at before you go to the next weight. Even if it feels too light, you own it first. Where you're honest with yourself, you can go up to the next weight while doing the technique strong, solid, and effectively. That's when you know you're ready for the next bell. When you own the weight, and when you know how the technique's solid, down, and it feels good, okay? So those are the top techniques. Real quick, I'll go over these so you can remember these. So first one is squatting. Squatting the swing. Squatting the swing. Quick fix, hinge it first so that when you're swinging that kettlebell, swings up, just like that, okay? 1. Number 2, rounding the back on the bottom. So that's going to be fixed if you have a nice hinge, and if you apply step number 3 or number 4, no 5, sorry, with waiting and being patient for it. Okay, so step number 3 is rounding the back. That comes from chasing the bell because you hinge too soon, chasing. Eventually, you're going to have to round the back. Avoid that by setting up properly. Power swinging the bell, being patient, waiting until the forearms are right here by your sides, then hinging, always making sure you're inside that power string triangle, okay? Number 3, the banana back. So if you're rounding the back at the top, okay, so rounding it here. To prevent that, remember, once you set up the bell, put space away, lock it down. Tower breathe, core, glutes, quads, glutes, hinge, nice and tight, nice straight back, chest, straight forward, and then bow to eye level, chest level. Never having to go upward to get that bell higher. Doesn't need to go higher, okay? Number 4, lifting with your arms. Again, going off of step 3 or fix 3, if you're swinging it right and it's eye level, chest level, You don't ever have to lift it with your arms. You have enough power already to shoot that ball upward. There's no lifting involved or needed. Okay, 5 is going to be hinging too soon. Like I said, hinging too soon, trying to get out of the way too soon, which eventually is going to go outside the triangle, too low. That's going to lead to a rounded back, spine issue, lower back pain, things like that. Okay, and fixing that is just waiting. Being patient, wait a little bit longer. Your arms are right here inside that triangle, just like the I just mentioned. Okay, and then of course the bonus step is start light. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. Don't jump to too heavy weight when you're not ready. Own the weight first. Own it first. Inside it out. Do 5 sets of 10 reps. Or sorry, 5 reps, 10 sets, then build up to 10 sets of 10 till you own the weight. Strong, powerful. You have it down. Then you go up to the next bell with just a couple sets. You step load it. Okay, a couple sets of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Own it, own it, own it until you get that bell so swings down so strong. Of course, applying these 5 techniques, avoiding the mistakes, till you know you got it down, you're ready to jump up and move to the next kettlebell weight. We just add a couple sets at a time. Progress, and if you do that, you'll be doing injury-free, pain-free, and you come back and do it the next day. So if you like this video, let me know what you liked about the number 1 step in the comments below. Share with someone you know you could benefit from this video. Okay, share with a friend, share with someone you know who's doing their swings and they have some issues and challenges, they're not sure what to do, share with them. And if you want a more in depth on this video and how to do more in depth on the techniques, some coaching, some cues, join my Kettlebell Strength Club free. I'll send you that link below, along with my free kettlebell 10-minute kettlebell workout. You can start incorporating into a kettlebell workout. KB10 in the comments below. I'll shoot that over to you, or KSC for Kettlebell Strength Club. Shoot that over to you. You can start doing the technique, doing the club, and joining a group of people that are guys who are trying to train with kettlebell safely, effectively, burn fat, get stronger, and do so at home in their gym right here with a kettlebell. So KSC, KB10 if you want that. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Keep getting after it, keep training strong, keep applying these 5 techniques, get after it, have strong, powerful swings, injury-free, keep getting better every day, train strong. You got this.